start, I could see this one snowballing pretty fast.
Okay, well, because he's the entirety of the team fight.
He's
right?
all the team fight, literally the entire team fight for them, so. And I've seen them so many times. I mean, it's Shopify. We'll see how well they play, of course, too, because people are going to be pretty critical because they've had a bit of a rough tournament so far here. But we've seen them do Puck versus Storm like 1,000 times. Like, it's Abed playing this. He's playing versus his buddy, you know, his SEA compadre, Karl. And I'm imagining they're going to be setting up to shut down this Storm Spirit early on, playing around Abed, looking for early aggression. That being said, if it gets to, like, if the game gets a little weird, if this Brewmaster does have a good game and they're able to get this type of farm for the TA, there is some strong scaling that comes out for Blacklist. So, let's see what's going to end up happening here.
Let's see the early bit of action potentially around these runes if they want to go for a bit of a clash.
And I'm wondering, I mean, I'm kind of with Frezzo, actually, too. Like, the double universal heroes, we've seen these broods, like what Amar was able to do with it, especially, too. How much pressure you can apply. These heroes do scale very hard nowadays with the universal builds.
The battle begins.
Let's see. Easy bounty room for SabeRLight. Just
first hit bash.
Away from the three of them. And they'll throw the blood grenade out onto SabeRLight. Tims, he would have needed a bash there to get the kill. SabeRLight's able to walk away. He'll turn towards Crit instead. Might be able to stay on top of Crit. So, what was that? The 3 bounty runes going for Shopify.
Yep, bit of miscommunication, I think, there maybe from Blacklist. Maybe if the Pugna kept going, they threw the blood grenade, maybe they get like a couple extra hits, maybe.
It's close.
But either way, I think, well, how many did they expend? Was that 2 blood grenades? I think it was, right? I think the Pugna used
one from
his,
Tims.
and the Spirit Breaker used it too, I think, right?
So, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Either way, they did end up committing quite a bit there, and they ended up losing 3 bounties, so. They do start some heroes low, though, and another bash.
So how are these lanes going to go? I mean, top lane, can these two do enough to bully SabeRLight early on?
That's why they picked it.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see what Crit's going to be able to do to kind of dissuade that. I think Rubik is a pretty good one in this lane to kind of try to slow them down here. Other lanes, though, I mean, this is a really strong bottom lane, of course. The Lycan should just be able to free farm versus this Bruin. This is my biggest concern for Blacklist, really, is how does KP get off to a start here? Even if he has a Pugna behind him, Undying the king of bullying these kind of heroes here.
Bottom lane. And DKP is just going to be kept pushed right back by Fly at these early levels.
Yeah. And how do you, I mean, that means Arteezy is just going to absolutely free farm. He's got 4 denies as well, too. So, yeah, KP is going to be off to a really, really slow start. And
well, this isn't something that, like, the Pugna can, Kuku, can he do much about this on the early levels?
No. I mean, Pugna can only do so much when you have, like, a Brewmaster with you. Can't actually bully. I mean, Undying, it's an Undying, Undying does what Undying does. So Fly, he's going to set up Arteezy for absolute success here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's pretty much denying all the range creeps. Yep. I mean, pretty much all the melee creeps on top
Literally
of that.
Every deny,
yeah, 10 and 8 on these first few waves.
That's going to cause some issues for sure to recover for that Brood. I mean, 1 CS. And top overall, I mean, yeah, they picked this lane to deal with the Brood, right? But it's not like SabeRLight is going to get completely forced out. Like levels, once level 2 comes out for Tims, perhaps they can start to get a little bit more. But SabeRLight should be able to annoy Raven, just missing last hits with the Ebola. And mid, I mean, we'll see how this matchup, as we said.
Now, Karl's doing pretty hot.
Karl's doing awesome. We've seen this one a lot for, like, the skill matchup overall. Because I think I've seen it go both ways, but lately I've been seeing the Storms win a bit more. Because I think I saw Depressed Kiyotaka actually win this matchup also.
Yeah, having a very good time with these first few waves, Karl.
But Abed, he has the bottle and he refills. Look at Karl. So.
Well, that is true.
Abed did play the deny and to grab the water, and so now Karl is going to get bullied away.
He's going to have to take the ball back to base. Oh, and he's got some regen. He's got some tangos coming out.
He could just die though. You have to be pretty careful.
It's risky, but he's got the stick, the Fairy Fire, and the tangos. I think he'll stick around and try and take a chance here.
They're diving bottom. They've got the tombstone. I'm not going to get the deny onto it.
Arteezy in turn won't be able to farm the Nether Ward.
Karl. I mean, it's so
risky this mid lane. I mean, he's going to have to walk back soon. Okay, he's got the bouncy rune to fall back on, so we'll get the refuel there.
At the least, but I mean, Abed.
This should give a chance now for Abed to catch back up, right? Yeah, with this harassment.
Should almost completely catch back up, yeah. And he's holding the creep wave too. Do you see how he's holding the positioning there? Keeps it outside of his tower so he can continue going for that like high ground, bullying a little bit onto the Storm Spirit every time he walks up. Let's see that.
Down bottom. See if it becomes a little bit easier for KP to step up and get creeps. I mean, so far, it's still not the case.
Yeah.
Just tries to get up there, and Arteezy can very easily trade hits with him.
They just have a lot of, I mean, even in like the mid game and stuff like that, they're gonna have a lot of physical damage to deal with these Brewlings, even when he does have the split available too. The one thing about the split, of course, it's something people you've been drafting for 10 years perhaps versus something like Lycan. So there is one benefit at the least, even though yes, it is the Lycan that was picked versus it. You can throw this Lycan in the air constantly throughout his transformation inside a team fight. So even if his lane is super rough, there will be at least some type of counterplay that this Brewmaster can't have versus Lycan. Torch moving toward mid. Water rune will still go to Abed, and Karl, he wasn't able to get that fill up, of course. With Raindrop, though, he should be quite a bit safer to not really worry about getting pushed out too much here from Abed.
Yeah, at least not without any sort of rotation.
No.
I mean, which...
a move is happening. Fly, he's making that rotation himself. He's actually coming toward top.
They could look to set up onto Raven. Telekinesis for crits there. Charge across the Tims. Will push them back. Raven's, he's able to step out there. Tims, smart call there. Goes for the charge. Instant TP. Both just able to avoid this gank from Fly. So nothing to come of this, apart from getting pushed back out of the lane a bit.
Blood Grenade expended. Tombstone drop. They don't kill the Tombstone, so that's what it is.
Still very much the bottom lane with the biggest offset is. I mean, to short top, SabeRLight not having a free time, but
he's slowing down.
He's at least getting some denies in there as well, indeed. But yeah, bottom lane, uncontested farm right now for Arteezy's Lycan. Top lane, they're looking to go again.
SabeRLight.
As Raven and Tims return. Focus Tims, Raven's able to step to the side. Tims, he'll get taken out. First blood for crit, as the 3 of Shopify Rebellion will succeed in taking down the kill on that top lane. Back on the mid, Karl and Abed both falling low. Karl, he's relying on the fact he's still got the 1 charges, so we'll be perfectly fine here against the orb.
There's rotations coming though. Shopify, they're setting up for around the gank. This is very common for them to do around this puck. Abed's getting charged.
So he's able to set this up the best. I mean, they'll hold back on the charge for now, Tims. He's going to turn his attention over towards Crit instead. And with a zip across, Karl, he's just hit the 6, so he's able to close the gap onto Crit. Crit's got the Fairy Fire.
He's got a Healing Lotus too.
He's not going to be quite as easy of a kill as they may have hoped for. The blast connects, but indeed Crit, he's just sort of baiting them away. Indeed, will have the Lotus when he feels necessary to pop it.
He gets it.
Okay, he'll let himself go down to the blast. So they do get something out of there. A bit of time though where they're drawn away from the mid.
Takes him, 3 heroes chasing him for a whole bit of time. Karl also used a bit of mana too. Abed, Catapult actually did that thing, if you saw, where I think Abed actually tanked the tower hit, and the Catapult just ran into tower range, so it does end up suiciding there. But Shopify, 1-to-1, and that big discrepancy, of course, from bottom. And Karl, he's gonna have to always be careful for the setups of Coil now at this point when Abed does have it at the ready.
Radiant are scanning.
See if they look to make a move, maybe to punish. He does have a TP, I believe, on the Storm, so Arteezy could get caught off guard here. He's shown very close to the tower. Karl tries, but Arteezy does end up making it quick.
A close start here, but the sort of the major feeling is that Shopify Rebellion with this lineup that is going to hit an early power spike. So far, there's not been any way that its progression's been slowed down. Right, they're going to hit the timings, and Blacklist are going to have to deal with a Shopify Rebellion that will be grouping up and running them pretty early in this game.
Yeah, but KP is actually, he has completely recovered his lane. He's got a Vanguard, so he's actually pretty damn tanky. It's not going to be the easiest for them to really focus fire and bring him down in this, because it's not like they have these overwhelming silences. Yes, they have the puck, but that's it. Like sometimes it's like the puck and the disruptor or something that really trips up the Brewmaster. So, Shopify definitely in a little bit of a better position, but I think KP maybe not as unhappy as I thought he was going to be in this bottom lane.
Yeah, just made the most of the fact that there's obviously support focus from Shopify Rebellion. It kind of left that bottom lane, and it's been around the mid, been around the top. So he's had an easier time trading CS with Arteezy. Arteezy's going to pop the ult.
It's time to kick the pace up.
We'll see what they can go for with this. But they'll get the catch on Tims with the telekinesis. DD's going to be able to be grabbed by Abed, and Arteezy will be able to connect over to the Spirit Breaker. So they'll chase down Tims. Arteezy able to claim the kill. Already some very early moves now. 8 minutes making that rotation from the bottom lane, and using the ult and getting a kill.
And he was using his wolves to last hit under the tower too. Just wanted to point that out there. So Arteezy, a little bit of multi-micro coming out. Close to his Echo Saber. Good kill. DD rune on Abed, holding onto that coil. They're making this move down.
They want to try and get Arteezy, especially in these points where he doesn't have his ultimate available. Karl and Tim's heading down here to join KP. They have primal split as well if necessary.
They need the
TP's
Undying.
starting to come in. They're going to need a lot more damage to drain this Lycan.
Tombstone's down.
Turn their efforts towards Flyband. He's already dropped the Tombstone. Further TPs to be coming in from Shopify Rebellion. They'll kill Fly.
Karl in trouble.
They've got to run now. The coil's there. It's going to grab onto Karl. This was a pretty heavy attempt to the kill underneath the tier 1, and it ends up costing Blacklist Rivalry big time. They lose their mid.
I mean, a bold attempt too, but a really good TP. I mean, Fly is at the ready, and okay. Kuku. Well, at least take away those double bounty runes from Abed, so a decent amount of gold going for their way at least, but he likely will die for that.
He's going to have some backup coming in the form of
might be
Tims.
okay.
He goes for the decrepify TPI. He's away, and in fact,
Crit.
Tims Crit ends up getting bashed up to the high ground. So Crit will live.
Okay. I mean, the double bounties actually it's a lot of gold.
Yeah, he picks it up and gets out. He succeeds.
Yeah, you can't forget how much that actually ends up giving. It's 450 across the board, so. All right. I mean, the dive doesn't end up working out, of course, down bottom, but
Kuku makes it work a little bit.
Kuku kind of
That's
makes it
money
work
back
grabbing the bounties. I love when I see people get bashed uphill. Could be in for quite a bit of a treat of a game here as Tims grabs the haste rune right in front of Abed.
Try and chase him out a little bit, Abed.
Long zip.
I mean, he was
Make
playing
away.
for Abed going up to the high ground, but indeed Abed didn't jump across there. So, it's all good though. He's got a pug now, he's got Kuku by his side, so Karl's mana topped instantly back up to full.
Shopify wants to get some more out of this map here. 10 minutes in. They want to try to get some more pressure onto one of these towers, the tier 1s in particular. SabeRLight will naturally start to get that push going top every time Raven goes to jungle. They're going to try to look for a pickoff.
And see what they can set up here with the Dream Coil into Tombstone.
You know that they want to play a little bit faster than the side of Blacklist, who does want to, they can fight back on Blacklist, of course, but they want to be able to get that farm, sit back on the TA a little bit more than something like a Lycan wants to on Shopify. Yeah, SabeRLight, he will be able to get that top tower next. And they still have Catapult in the mid wave too. Could even swing over here on Shopify. How to support levels. Still 4 on Tims, 6 on the Pugna. 5 on the other 2 supports too.
KP's going to be ready to go again with the split if the rest of the team wish to connect with him. They'll smoke up. We'll see which direction they want to head. Looks like Karl and Kuku have got their eyes on trying to just push out the spider, find SabeRLight on this top half of the map.
Okay. They ideally want to give Tim's level, so I don't blame them for making this type of move. Like, he needs somewhere to get that level 6, so they're giving him mid.
Yeah, they're going to end up just revealing themselves, so it looks like they just wanted to get up here to farm, that they don't actually manage to set up anything with this smoke.
I mean, this level 6 is actually... The fact that it's so much earlier than the other 6s at this point, it's not an early 6 by any means for Kuku, but compared to the others, it does have it pretty early on, so that's going to actually help Karl quite a bit here in this early game too. So, okay, Arteezy, he's making the move toward mid again. Wants to try to get some tower advantage here. Doesn't want to just stay parked versus a Brewmaster either, and should be able to finish off this tower. Stick up to KP if he wants to make the call to rally, but they don't have anyone set up here.
Yeah, they're going to use the push it. As the tier 1's gone, Arteezy straight down towards the bottom, wants to be able to continue to hold on this tower, but that's going to be interrupted there. Tims puts a stop to that, so further space for KP to continue to, well, looks a bit, maybe be able to trade the tower, get a further TPs come in from Shopify. They'll send the puck down here, Abed, to deal with this push.
He's got Arcane Rune. Can easily make sure they don't push this one. They could even surround and look for the Brewmaster now. They could just bring the numbers if they're able to get on top of
Arteezy,
KP.
he's good to go. He's going to pop the shapeshift and look to try and chase this down. It's a tricky hero to catch, and it does rely on Abed sort of being in range for kind of the Dream Coil, the silence. Then maybe they have a chance to take him down before the split comes out. But other than that, it's not going to happen. So nothing to be found with this use of the shapeshift.
Good dodge from KP. I mean, very minimal kind of movement, but he just moved away from the tower early enough to be able to keep the distance. And he is going to, it looks like he's full committing. I was wondering if he was going to, but going for the Crimson Guard versus the Brood versus the Lycan. Could be pretty cool. Even versus something like the Undying could be nice. Just a little bit of extra block to protect his allies. To protect these squishy back, or just protect the squishy backline in particular, Kuku. Slow-paced game. Feels like that does. I mean, even though yes, it's still very early towns, but yeah, if the game doesn't accelerate, I'm sure that Blacklist is pretty happy. Shopify wants to play very happy.
They really want to do something about KP.
They can't. Keeps getting away.
Now he's got backup as well. Both Kuku and Raven now around, ready to fight.
Stone on high ground.
They can deal with this though. The division up there quickly take down the tombstone. Now it becomes a bit of a dangerous spot. The map for Shopify Rebellion. and Fly has to back away.
The tumblers gets him to disengage for a Spirit Breaker. They're going to be able to commit forward for the tower though. I bet he'll ditch.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Wisdom runes.
So far, Blacklist doing a solid job.
Yeah, they're doing a great job here so far. The TA is set up for success to have a very early Deso timing.
Yeah, Raven. I think Raven feels great. He's going to be level 12 soon. He's having all the space that he could hope for on the map. A good, healthy 143 CS here, 14 minutes in. Farm's great.
Yep. Let's see if they can set up onto SabeRLight at all here, because he's also... I mean, he is still absolutely free farm. We're going to have to see the clash of these universal heroes versus just the scaling of Blacklist, of course, too, because Shopify, it's not like they don't just fully not scale or anything like that. It's going to be interesting to see how it all does kick off here. Very slow paced.
Crit. Well, Abed with him. They're trying to go for Kuku. They'll get him. But it almost certainly kills to be had in return. Karl and Tim's able to take down Crit. Abed tries to set up with the orb and the coil onto Karl, but he on his own does not have enough damage to kill Karl. Karl's perfectly fine.
Exchange of supports.
Dire's top tower.
I mean, Raven, he's hard.
Up, actually.
I mean, maybe if Tim's connects and Arteezy is red, they can try
double
this kill.
It's a lot of damage.
He's going to be able to get the ult off Karl. He's used all his mana to get down here, so can't continue to chase for a Vortex. They've got the charge, but Tim's on his own will not be able to do it. So Arteezy able to break away in time with the shapeshift.
Nice attempt, though.
Yeah,
I like that Raven does it.
If sort of Tim's charge was anywhere closer and they're able to sort of just get any sort of disable onto Arteezy where he's held near Raven, he'd be dead.
Or if Raven had if he did have that Deso just a little bit sooner, right? Because it is coming out in the courier now. That could have maybe been enough damage. All right, let's see what we got here. Shopify swinging toward top. They know that Raven's made his way back up here. They want to try to perhaps punish this TA. That'd be a really, really good kill. That could allow them to kick up the momentum here, but look at this. Blacklist.
They're ready for a fight themselves.
Crit shows.
Yeah, he's going straight forward. He's in with a charge. They'll quickly take out Crit. And the rest of Shopify Rebellion, they do not want to be around here anymore.
Nice read. All throughout this game, it feels like they are reading the movements of Shopify nicely on Blacklist.
Yeah, they're keeping them under control.
Arteezy is gonna, kicking up the pace of his nullifier, it looks like here. He's got treads, he's got Echo Saber, he even buys the shard to put some continuous pressure and extra farm onto these lanes and stuff like that, and he's just gonna go straight nullifier. Versus Bulldoze, versus Crimson Guard, versus Decrep and stuff like that. Okay, don't blame him. See if it'll pay off. Roche is already starting to get pinged out, both teams have to be very aware of it. They both kind of have pretty godly lineups to just sneak a Roche on, actually. So you get that pause.
No, I mean, which team would do it quicker? Is it the sort of Deso TA or kind of the Lycan around the Undying ult? Probably the Deso TA.
Deso, I mean, the meld is just crazy because you can do the double meld thing.
Like it's still going to be slightly quicker if Blacklist getting there.
I don't know. Undying is pretty broken, and they do have a lot of physical damage. I don't know. That would be a pretty good test to see which one actually kills it just straight faster.
I think it's got to. If you consider all 5 heroes on both teams hitting it, the minus armor that TA provides.
Okay, if you consider all 5 hitting, yes. Yeah. Okay, all right, fine. Maybe.
If they're going as a team for the I think Blacklist do it quicker.
Yeah, probably pretty close. Cool. What's the itemization going to be coming out here afterwards? It looks like it is going to be the Orchid finish. So, Karl, we've seen this a couple of times now to deal with the pucks. And looking at Shopify, they're actually buying they bought a really early gem. I think this might be the earliest gem I've seen purchased in this tournament. So a really big dictator of trying to control the early game, right? Because you're playing versus these TA traps that are going to be really pesky to perhaps catch even the puck. Because I didn't see if he's going to queue up the shard just yet. Because I know that a lot of players really like buying the shard versus the puck. So I don't blame him. And they're actually going to be the ones to be able to get away with just stealing it.
Yep. Doesn't look like the Blacklist will be able to do anything about this one.
Not even committing the tombstone, so that's actually pretty cool there for Fly that he doesn't have to, because they could use it for the next fight. They look to pick one off right afterwards. SabeRLight's gonna send the spiders to scout.
They're heading over now.
Maybe he does have
to might actually be. They might have to use something at KP.
Okay.
He's closing in, but he's not going to step into the pit in time. It's already been taken. Abed picks up the Aegis. So put the primal split, KP.
It's a little awkward now.
But the Aegis already claimed by Shopify Rebellion. Bit of a tougher fight for Blacklist to make the call in as KP attempts to push on forwards. He's now got to back off as the primal split begins to end.
It's dying.
And they're going to poke on forward towards him. With the silence, they're going to try and chase KP out of this one. Arteezy popping the ult. The rest of Blacklist, what their call is going to be here. Does Karl and Kuku want to get in on this or just let KP go? Looks like they'll just let KP die.
Abed, 3-man coil!
Is there any follow-up? And this to the opt to snap it so they still get the chance to run. Karl's able to ball lightning away. Kuku's back under the tier 2 tower. Tim's trying his best to dodge the orb. The Decrepify's there trying to stop the damage from the walls and the spiders. He'll turn with an ult onto SabeRLight. Tim's, he's still running. Can SabeRLight get the final touch? He's into the trees, but crit, he's found him. Fade Bolt's there. As Blacklist, they just turn up a little bit too late to the Roshan fight, and it does cost them. They'll lose a couple of heroes for it, as well as not getting the chance to stop Abed from grabbing that Aegis.
It's tough for them to go in. Abed very patient with his coil, and that just prevents the Storm from pretty much any moment to just jump in onto any heroes. Yeah, it's always important when you see these from these pucks when you're playing versus something like a Storm Spirit. He's just holding it and holding it and holding it. Gets the 3-man. It looks incredibly flashy, but not the craziest amount of follow-up, unfortunately. They do get one, though. So, yeah, Shopify kicking the pace up, getting that Aegis now.
That's still crazy close, though. Despite that hostile scenario of events, getting the Roshan, getting the Aegis, the gold is
very close.
Dead even. And in terms of objectives, sure they got the tier 1s pretty early, but they've yet to be able to tackle the tier 2. This top tier 2 should be going down. I don't think Blacklist will be able to set up any sort of defense with it as low as it is. So now they'll get themselves their first tier 2 with this Aegis.
They can start to control the map a lot here, Shopify now. Once they get this tier 2, SabeRLight's starting to get pretty big, soon Halberd. They're starting to get quite a bit of options here. Even though it's just that like less than 1k or something like that, they're going to be able to do a lot now in these next few moments with this. Arteezy almost has his nullifier too, so this is a big momentum swing here for Shopify.
Yeah, they just keep it going. The smokes are there. They want to keep this pace up.
Yep, I have to reiterate, I love that they bought this gem really early this game. I think it's kind of perfect versus the TA and look at Raven.
They might find him.
This could be the perfect catch.
They're in on top of it. Who's able to get the refraction of the blink off?
Do they have the catch?
Anything to stop this? They do. The coil's there in time. TPs are coming in, but there's going to be no saving this TA as Raven's gone.
Massive catch. They can easily push more here now. Go for the tier 1, maybe even get even more. The position for the lanes actually aren't the best, but best catch they can possibly find here. Asuna Lincoln's now onto Abed too, so a lot more protection. Versus the Vortex and versus the Spirit Breaker charge, the two kind of main things to catch him.
Yeah,
and he's got the gem to protect himself versus like the potential silence that comes from TA traps or something.
Yeah, and he's still got the 2 minutes left on the Aegis. Yep. Got a great healing Lotus as well, and just the fact that he hasn't died yet this game. So they haven't been able to catch him before all of this. Now it's going to become much harder.
And the Lincoln's of course versus that one. So he's going to have like multiple different forms to protect himself. Arteezy, doing the Tormentor. Is he winning? He looks like he's gonna die. He looks like he's losing.
Oh. Well, it happens.
It happens. Look elsewhere.
Sometimes the Tormentor gets the better of us.
They're getting a good amount of mid-tower damage, though. The Wolf Arteezy shard that he purchased earlier was actually tanking it, getting some cripple effects, and Abed's full committed. Look at this with the DD.
Look at this Arteezy. He's coming back for round 2. He's not letting this Tormentor get the best of him. He just pops the ult and heads back over.
SabeRLight getting set up on. He has Halberd pipe though. It's not the easiest of kills. I think they'll settle for fly.
Yeah, the rest of them should be fine. RT, he got the Tormentor. Round 2, he pops the shapeshift.
And it's a good one.
For it.
They got fly, so they've got the grab ally, the OP one. It is going to help a lot, actually. This game, looking at like the damage really from Blacklist, it's a lot of single targets to kind of just burst one hero. The grab ally could be pretty impactful as well. 3k lead now for Shopify. Started to get the ball rolling quite a bit here.
Yeah, this is sort of now starting to fall into this, sort of the groove, the plan that they had when it came to this draft, it feels like.
Yeah, Arteezy, he is getting very, very scary. His damage is starting to go through the roof. Nullifier, once he gets Harpoon, supports just disintegrate. Yeah. You cannot play.
All 3 cores of Shopify Rebellion in a great spot. KP, he did kind of recover from the slow start he had to the lane, but it's got back to that point now where the game's slowing back down for him as a brew.
He feels the pressure. He went back for a Midas even.
Oh.
Can't feel good.
Indeed, they're going to have to hope that Shopify Rebellion's not able to end it within sort of the next 10 or 15 minutes. If they want to have a chance of kind of playing for that sort of late game recovery plan.
That's pretty much what it says, right? Just like, all right, boys, take it to the late game, SEA special.
I mean, and if they can, they'll have a great shot.
Radiant's
But it's a big if with the lead that Shopify Rebellion is starting to build up against them.
And I'm also thinking, like, you know, the way Abed plays, though, Abed does stay as kind of a carry also, though. So I'm just like, even if they get to late game, if Abed's big, he's also a pretty big menace as well, too, even depending on all things. So Shopify.
No, they're on the hunt.
Doing really well. Yeah, looking for KP.
They can mess around with it.
Initial catch. They've got a Yules for the secondary cancel if he tries to do anything here.
Drop the tombstone. Yeah, there's no way out for him. They'll attempt the TP, but as you said, the items, the Yules, they're there. The ready KP is dead.
Nice build from Crit. Not the most obvious kind of thing, but he's playing versus Pugna, playing versus Spirit Breaker. Oh, he's going to be a great game for that Yules. I like the items he's kind of queuing up, even queuing up like Halberd. They're really understanding how this game is going to go. It looks like it's going to be like TA attempting to stand toe-to-toe versus these double melees that get right on top of her. That does not sound easy for a TA. Not with the way that Shopify's been able to get these next few grabs, and they're just continuing to kick up that pace. Easy giving them the well played. He's feeling good. Towers are dropping.
Back on track. We're 23 minutes in. They've taken all tier 2 towers.
The map is shrinking very quick here for Blacklist. Itemization, yep. Another big item coming out of Solar Crest. Something for the supports, even just to buff up these strong and physical cores.
SabeRLight's ready to get into the base. So the Spiders tickling away at the tier 3 tower.
I mean, they'll force them all back, and then they're just like, okay, we can back up. So, yeah, Shopify. Clean macro. Abed. Hunt for Tims.
Could go for the solo with the coil if he wants to try. Does, but Tims did manage to get a haste rune. So that will be coil expended. Down for over a minute there.
He's also a, you know, Lamau Spirit Breaker with the
walks it off. Yeah.
He didn't even pop the planner pocket to block the magic damage or anything. Because that, I mean, gives 75% magic resist. Could have actually been very healthy anyway. The wet. Shopify controlling the triangle. BKB finished up on Karl.
A game of some sort.
I mean, it's Brood and his Lycan. The physical damage from the two of them. I'm actually seeing SabeRLight. Looks like he's switching it up a little bit here.
Let's see if they have Tims. Yeah, he can clear out the Spiders. A lovely bit of money there. Goodbye to every single Spider that SabeRLight ever had. Top lane KP. Yeah, he's out. There's nothing to stop him.
Let's see if SabeRLight commits for this build. I mean, he has got an Aghanim's cube. Interesting. I haven't seen most people building the Spinner Snare for quite some time now. I feel like I always see like the Hex now. Either way, Blacklist feeling strong. They've got a couple item timings hit here. BKB on Raven, level 18. BKB on Karl.
Yeah, this is...
They're trying to strike back.
This could be the point where Blacklist hit them hard.
Who do they find? Can they catch Abed?
And it would be a brilliant catch, but it's a tricky catch. As he's already away with the orb, the blink. It's just a little bit too awkward of initiation, and Karl's used a fair bit of mana. They're going to top him back up, and now the two of them are caught in the Dream Coil. Shopify Rebellion swinging over. Well, let's try and take down Kuku first to protect himself with Decrepify. The Spiders get wiped out again by Tims charging across. They'll put the Primus bit. They're trying to focus SabeRLight. Abed, he's been able to finish off Kuku. Now they're turned towards Tims. There's Blacklist. I think they've got to consider just running from this. The fight has not gone. It's not started as they wish for it to do so.
Raven.
As they're on a full retreat now, he has to put the BKB here in an effort to get back up to the safety of his base.
They don't. They have to immediately like panic reset the Tombstone just too much. It zones them completely away. Sure, you have Primal Split, but they got on the Pugna. They tried to get Abed, but this is an Abed puck. You're not going to catch him like that.
No, not at all. It's just too tricky of a target. Yep. Pretty much the worst one for them to find.
Yep.
And when they try and make a smoke move like that, we'll see again. You know, Abed able to just sort of pull their attention all the way up to the high ground, and by that point, the backup comes in. It's just no further fight for Blacklist Rivalry to try and take when the initiation does not go that smoothly. They're having to pop their ults and their BKBs, as we saw to the end there from Raven, but just in an effort to escape Shopify.
It's overwhelming when that Tombstone is down. The zombies just really start to build up. Yeah, it's the Bruce Split just there for control. There's not really any damage that's going to be kicking out into that there. So yeah, SabeRLight. I mean, the pipe build definitely paying off big dividends. He's gotten a halberd, and he is committing. Okay, so he's gone for the Spinner Snare. Interesting.
Okay, I guess just really wants to make this whole map very difficult for Blacklist to ever really step out and try and catch them off guard with these movements.
Sure.
If he's able to sort of set up some areas with these traps, it's going to be even harder for Blacklist Rivalry to find these plays, find these pickoffs to try and break their way back into the game and stop this momentum that Shopify's been building up.
No, I miss seeing this item, actually. So I feel like we had a phase where we got to see it a lot, and then people just completely stopped picking it up because this hero's universal. So everyone just starts going like your own treads, Echo Saber, building toward damage and stuff like that. So it pays off. Definitely can be an annoying one versus Spirit Breaker, right? You're charging, you run into the snare, stuff like that. So maybe there's some kind of cool tech that he's looking at here.
Items for Raven still coming out at a very, very good pace. You know, MKB is going to be the one next, so he doesn't have to deal with those the misses. It's going to be inflicted on him outside of the BKB.
Wolves are scouting. Big information. Abed, he's got an Orchid.
They're going to turn if they got enough control to bring down Abed. No, he's fine. I believe he's hopped into the tombstone.
Sure is.
He's perfectly fine. They cannot kill him. KP, if they got anything to stop the TP, they do. Telekinesis is there. Get the split off.
Oh, but they might just be able to kill it. He's got to try to
has to run.
Somehow.
I don't know if he's going to get the chance to because Arteezy's in with the shapeshift. They're going to be able to take down, chase the Earth Brewling.
One more.
The rest of them
cancel it.
I mean, is this going to be enough to get him away? He's getting chased down by the spider. KP on the retreat, but they'll catch him as they'll slowly but surely be able to bring him down. Nothing more to be done. KP's gone. As Blacklist rivalry, they just cannot find a way to take a fight at this moment.
They cannot. Nice catch. I mean, KP tries to end the split early, get away, and also his Midas is up. So very sad death for him. And it's actually going to be around Roshan. So probably the most ideal thing that Shopify could have had happen. The primal split, it gets used. Now they pretty much have this Roshan free.
That's the good they go.
I mean, yep, just going to point out that itemization one more time here from Crit. Yep, he's just going for the halberd. Double range carries that they're worried about.
I mean, Raven's been annoying here. Yeah, Raven's threatening a tier 3 or force out the glyph.
Crit. And he's actually going to get picked off. He's playing under ward.
Abed, of course, won't have any trouble dancing away. So space created for the rest of Shopify to go for Roche. Not going down super quick, but doesn't look like Blacklist Rivalry have the intention of heading over there. Ravens more than happy to just continue to play the safe spot of the map down bottom, hit the goal for his MKB, keep the pressure onto the bottom tower of Shopify Rebellion.
He's still pretty farming.
He's super
it's
farming.
Is he going to be able to deal with like the multiple halberds that are getting thrown out of him, the surround that comes from a Lycan and a Broodmother? Feel the easiest by any means.
You've got full Bloodthorn on Karl now as well.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of evasion. Of course,
so if they're somehow able to cleanly get in, you know, Vortex, Bloodthorn, and have Raven just beat into someone, it's going to be a lot of damage.
As long as there's no Undying to just grab them into the tombstone. So there's a lot of they have to just be careful of the saves in particular.
Pesky tombstone.
It's proven to be quite a nuisance ever since it's been added into these pro games.
Crowd 5 come down, but they're not really in any form to set up under Raven themselves. Imagine that they'll stray too far out on this bottom lane.
I can't believe we only have 17 kills in 30 minutes.
It's definitely one of the slower games. But expect this, a lot on the line here with this series.
Yep.
A lot on the line, so both teams really doing their best to make minimal mistakes and play it as safe as they can. Blacklist very much appreciating the strengths that Shopify Rebellion's lineup has at this stage of the game. You know, they're doing their best to not get caught out too much and not try and force things. Yeah, sure, we're still trying to make a move here and there, but outside of that, they're very much, they're just playing the passive game, playing the farm game, and making sure that the onus is on Shopify to try and force the fight, force the high ground in situations where Blacklist aren't really getting caught out as a team out on the map. So as the timer ticks, Shopify Rebellion, the test for them will be how can they bring together a push when Blacklist Rivalry will be set up as 5 waiting in the base for them.
Yeah, when they're finished scaling as well too, because if you're looking at Tim's, he is pretty much that 4th core now at this point. He's got the BKB done.
Yeah, true. He is very wealthy on this.
He's going to be annoying. And KP, I mean, he has he went Arcanes, Crimson, and then he has his Midas, so he hasn't really progressed in any type of growth. He is getting pretty close to his Radiance. So Shopify, they do want to try to get at least something out of this Aegis here. They'll be able to get a Tormentor.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to want to get something done with this 3 minutes of Aegis. A set of racks at the least. I think anything less will be not what they would have hoped for. Shopify Rebellion, they'll try with the push. Impulse down upon them. Forced to BKB here after that initial jump from Shopify Rebellion. So he'll try and go again. Karl, he's looking to go for the backlines. Wants to try and take out the support for the Yules. They'll be able to buy some safety. Crit in the air, and he's stolen the ball lightning. He's away. Crit, he'll live.
It's a charge, zips through it.
See if they can dodge this. He's doing his best to dance around Tim's. Tim's pots the BKB, but he's having to run. because Arteezy, he's going straight for him. The BKB soon to be coming to an end. They've got the dust upon him. Now the BKB finishes. Tims, he's gone. He's out for 50.
That's a lot expended there from Blacklist, too. The Primal Split is a big one for them to attempt for this hold.
Yeah, these are sort of difficult pushes for Shopify Rebellion to take it to the next level, but being able to kind of pull back as they did, Crit dancing around, not dying.
SabeRLight?
It's a good start to push. Things get a bit more tricky now that they've lost the Spider. SabeRLight will get caught.
He'll have to back up and reset. Crit still with the zip.
Didn't get the lift up onto Karl. He's still got enough mana to play with. Arteezy drags him in. The harpoon. Karl be able to back away with the back buff up with the glimmer. Back up to the high ground he goes. He'll be okay. And now that SabeRLight's gone, Shopify Rebellion will have to hold back. So a bit of a slip up there. Shopify Rebellion maybe getting a bit ahead of themselves after they survived that sort of initial defense from Blacklist rivalry. They get back in there a bit too soon and they lose SabeRLight.
Long fight. I think Crit actually, I actually think the ball lightning was a pretty clutch steal because it looked like he was more than likely definitely
he would have been dead to Tims at the start of that.
Yeah, ends up surviving a couple extra rounds there. It looked like Blacklist was actually going to be able maybe to chase out and go for that big fight there, but either way. Not the most, not the most convincing kind of win there by Shopify by any means. Pretty even, kind of. Even though the Primal was used and stuff like that, the tower wasn't claimed. It actually only took like 300 damage.
I mean, they don't get the tower. They get pushed back. They lose SabeRLight. They've only got 1 minute left on the Aegis. I feel for Blacklist there. They're going to be over the moon about that hold.
This game is scary. This game is really
I think it's going to get pretty tense for Shopify. They had a little bit of a lead. They were hitting the timings, but the reality of it is, Blacklist rivalry, we saw very early on with their item builds, they're set up to scale. And sure, Shopify Rebellion, their heroes, they're still going to have decent presence in the later portions, but I feel like Blacklist rivalry, they will eventually have the edge.
Maybe. I don't know. These Lycans and Bruins, I'm always just like, they hurt so hard, so
okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going again. 5-man smoke for Shopify Rebellion, straight down the mid.
They still got the cheese. They have Aegis for 30. Primal Split is back at the ready, and he's level 18, so it's actually level 3 Primal with a Radiance too. So a lot stronger. A really good catch.
He's going to try and set up here with the stolen ball lightning as he closes the gap onto Kuku.
That's a big one. He's got buyback.
See if they can force it out.
Removing him just once. Raven. High ground.
The creeps are in. Backdoor protection's gone. Glyph, it's up and available.
Give them all the information. Crimson Guard gets popped. They'll back up and reset away from that. He's getting reclaimed.
Is under attack.
A little bit more tower damage. Small things add up.
Something.
Zip forward.
They're going to try and chase them.
Karl.
Not able to get the initial grab on a SabeRLight. They'll turn over towards the mid as Tims, he'll have to put the BKB to run away from this one.
A little bit of an awkward chase out. Can't get the initial grab.
Try for something, but quite fortunate to find it.
I mean, it's a pretty bold attempt when they don't have their Pugna as well, too. But Tim's looking like he maybe saw an opportunity. Wisdom Rune. Arteezy, can he deny it with the Wolf?
I mean, what's the plan here for? You can explain these things to me. Arteezy is going for the butterfly, but there's already been an MKB in the game and a Bloodthorn. So what's sort of the... What do you think he feels the butterfly is going to give him this game?
Maybe he's still deciding.
Okay. No, he's brought the quarter stuff.
No,
he sold it.
deciding.
He brought it and then he sold it.
I think
he's changed his card.
Yeah,
This
I was gonna
butterfly
say,
would not have been... No.
I didn't like it.
No.
And this looks great versus the double of range cards.
Absolutely, against the TA.
And your universal.
He was just teasing us. He was never really going to buy butterfly.
And this is the natural universal item, and he's versus the range corner. So I was like, his damage is crazy. It really is gonna.
Yeah, if he's able to get in and get on top of like the TA, or of course Karl, once Karl's used a lot of mana, this Lycan's going to be a nightmare for those two cores to deal with.
Karl, his BKB is down to 7 seconds, so almost down to the 6. It's definitely going to be scary for him because of how much physical damage there is. Like the Howl goes onto him, he's down to like 7 armor.
He's got the Axe, so they've got the combo, or at least an extra bit of team fight, right? Outside of
some more
KP.
team fight.
They can use sort of that AoE vortex, give them a chance to maybe get on top of a core whilst the support is also being dragged in, so there won't be any saves from Shopify Rebellion in their backlines.
Committed quite a bit of gold here.
He spent up, right, Karl?
Mm-hmm.
You did. They're going all in.
Positioning.
Dire's middle tower is under
Fight all together. Abed having a shield run for this next fight also. He also spent his gold. They see KP.
Arteezy's ready to go.
Wants to jump.
Gonna pop the ult to get him with the silence onto KP. There's the Dream Coil as well. They're fully focusing down the Brewmaster. The KP's gonna get taken out. He'll immediately buy back. The BKB from Karl used in an attempt to escape. Kuku left behind. 2 dead. See, KP wants to make something happen.
They're disengaging.
This buyback, but indeed they're kiting this out. It's also going to be a buyback from Kuku. I mean, Shopify Rebellion, they'll very happily and very easily back away from that. It's 2 buybacks from Blacklist for nothing.
Absolutely beautiful fight. And KP, he has to be very careful now. Knows it's absolutely that he just dies inside of a coil. He is so squishy. Even with Crimson Guard, they get the howl onto him. He's no armor pretty much. I think he might have to just buy that plate mail ASAP when he has the gold now. Shopify, I mean, they're ready for round 2. Abed actually commits. He's got the Octarine finish. 30 seconds on coil.
Are scanning.
Yeah, I mean, if they can just sort of buff up the power spike now, that they're in this position where there's no buyback on KP's brew.
And look at
Shopify Rebellion could hit them pretty hard.
And look at the timing for the rush. It's coming up as soon as coil comes up. And Arteezy, he is starting to get some pressure onto the mid lane. Tims, he's going to charge over to deal with this creep wave. Shopify might start inching forward when they see that Spirit Breaker not there.
Where they want to go.
Abed.
See what they can do. They get the lift up here over towards Raven. They've grouped up. Abed's going to jump in. He's got Dream Court back up in a second. Is he able to get it off? He's got the phase shift. Opts to jump out of this fight. Looks like he'll get back in. Tries to burn through Kuku, but will not be able to bring Kuku straight down. Backup coming in from SabeRLight. Kuku stands his ground with the life drain. The Tombstone is going to be focused here by KP during the split, but he's not taking it down quick enough at all. He has to start running. Raven, he's hiding with the meld. They don't have vision upon him right now. Lift up onto Karl. He's still got a bit of mana to get away with the BKB. Zip TP. Karl, he's out of there. As KP, also able to hide in the trees, will also manage to retreat safely.
I mean, they may get SabeRLight, but they do end up losing quite a bit because Split is used and it's around Roche now, so Shopify could just set up for that Roche. Arteezy just ate Tims alive before the fight even started when he went for the split push. Moves that Spirit Breaker from the fight before anything even goes down. Now, Aegis of Cheese and a Refresher Shard. Dream here really for Shopify after that fight. Crit's just, sorry, Abed just messing with them. He literally jumped in the midst of 5 heroes.
They can't do anything about it.
Nope, even though he's got, I think he did get like killed for a second there. I think he had the shield rune, so he's just far too tanky. The Abed puck, 8-0 and 6 this game.
I will see it again here at the start of the fight. Indeed, just see surrounded by the 4 of them. Yeah, he gets caught by the Ag's Vortex, but that's it.
That's it.
You know, they don't get anywhere close to being able to bring this puck down, as Abed's free to do as he wishes in the fight. And then at this point, just sort of full retreat really for the most of Blacklist Brotherhood. It's a bit of a miracle that they're actually able to kill SabeRLight and get the rest of the cores out there at the end of this bit of action.
I actually didn't even see how, I actually missed out that how SabeRLight died at the end there too, so. Abed gets the jump with the coil, Raven.
That's another BKB forced.
They still have the Refresher Shard constantly from Abed too, so he will have the threat of these double coils.
And Karl's, he's able to cut the wave at least, so we'll put a slow down to this push coming out in the top lane.
Go for crit. He's tried so many times to kill this annoying Rubik, but he just keeps surviving.
It's just not going to happen. And now they've got the telekinesis flying. SabeRLight here as well. Again, it's another hero having to use the BKB just to get back safely. Karl not able to get these support kills on his own.
No BKBs. Shopify could look to continue this pressure here. The lanes are in a good spot. Yep. Double coils at the ready in 15 seconds.
Aegis Cheese ready to go on Arteezy.
Ooh, and a full hex now for SabeRLight too. Those BKBs on cooldown, he can probably get a really good grab here.
So we'll look Blacklist Rivalry can do. Everybody back up. They try with the charge and they go straight towards Arteezy. They'll turn their attention over towards SabeRLight. SabeRLight, he's going to get taken out. He's out for 75. Which starts the defense here from Blacklist. Abed jumping in, has got the Dream Coil at the ready. Primal Split comes out first. Abed holding back on the ult for now. It's Karl, he's going to go in for round 2. Does get clipped by the silence, but they get the pullback Tims. Charge across the midst of them, they try and focus down Fly. Fly attempting to retreat for the Primal Split. He'll get away.
He's getting controlled.
They're going to be able to bring down Fly still. Karl was able to finish him off. They've just got to try and retrieve from this. I mean, Arteezy's going to fall the once. Is he actually going to have any backup to protect him on this round 2? He has got the shapeshift if he's able to get it off and run away. They've got control, they've got the stun, into the charge, and they've got the damage from Raven. Can he escape this? He cannot. Arteezy gets taken out. Blacklist, they'll hold the defense.
They hold the defense. The mid-racks did die though. There was some wolves and catapults, but a decent defense at the least there, taking out quite a bit there from it. Shopify. I think Shopify used almost everything, right? Aegis Cheese and the Refresher Shard.
Oh, actually, wait,
I didn't see where Abed used it, but I think he was doing it on the south side.
Was that passed over to him, or was that an older Cheese?
I think that was an older Cheese.
That wasn't the one that Arteezy had.
Somebody used the Cheese. I think the Rubik used the Cheese. Either way.
Oh, they're going to get on with the push now. Blacklist rivalry, a good bit of an opening after that defense. Sure, as you said, damage was done, but they're getting kills, they're getting XP, kills. And they're keeping the game alive.
And Raven continues to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, Swift Blink's done.
He's 25 and he's got buyback. He is pretty much maxed out here. Or, sorry, he has enough to continue the next item here. He's getting close to being maxed out here.
What does he go for now? So I guess now you got the Swift Blink, you can get rid of your treads, right?
Just go for more damage. Thinking, does he want to just literally be full DPS? He could. Or does he want to go down?
He's going to go Refresher. Well, at least he's considering Refresher for
I thought he might
double BKB.
I even thought he might go like a Butterfly because they have no pure True Strike on them, but...
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
This Refresher could be sort of tentative. It could still be changed for something else here.
We'll see what they're going for here. Blacklist hold.
They do. I think at any moment, any minute, they can make this game continue to last. At least with the way that they're playing, in their eyes, that's how they win this game.
Absolutely. Hex now on Karl too, so extra form to catch. Tense game.
Yeah,
it's been kind of quiet, but things are still kind of neck and neck. Even though there's a slight advantage here now for Shopify with that Rax, the fights, they don't look the easiest still. The damage is going to be there, and now KP has more survivability. Trickster Cloak picked up 6 minutes ago or so, and he's got the AC. Arteezy, on the flip side, he does have his own AC, and then now Abed also does have an overwhelming blink.
Because honestly, I think Blacklist rivalry, they might be able to go for a smoke move. Most of these fights have been fights that Shopify Rebellion have bring into them. I think with these pickups, Blacklist rivalry, they can look to start the action themselves, especially if they catch out Shopify Rebellion out on the map.
I mean, if they ever kill Abed, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Abed doesn't have buyback, too. I mean, not a lot.
And even as Arteezy, right? Yep. He also spent up for the AC, so a little bit of vulnerability.
They're going to look for something out. Abed, he's going to go for the rune. But he doesn't jump.
A bit of a bait.
Lift.
And they get the Hex onto Karl. Nothing else, yeah. I mean, Karl, he's just going to go straight into onto them. There's the Vortex on the SabeRLight, but the disarms there over onto Raven. So Raven can't take SabeRLight up now. Tim's, he'll charge into the midst
of the risky one.
He's out.
What the? Okay. I mean, that's his jam.
They might lose more now because Abed, he's able to jump in. He gets the coil off onto the two of them. KP going to get the ult off. He can. Primal splits there in time. Raven pots the BKB in an effort to stand strong with Karl and KP in this fight, but now they have to back off. This fight's not going to go their way anymore. Blacklist rivalry. Kuku's TP put to an end. He's out. Double kill for Arteezy. There's 2 dead on Blacklist rivalry without buyback. Shopify Rebellion, they're going to be ready to run it down the mid.
They're right. They can run it down both sides. They have so much overwhelming physical damage. These Raxes are going to die in seconds. There's no glyph. Just kidding. The glyph is up in 3 seconds. Tim's, I mean, that charge was very reckless. Charged onto the high ground. He gave up the gem and then put his team in a position to just get fully set up on. They got like a 4-man coil, but Tombstone eats the Broodmother, and then immediately Blacklist has to just full panic disengage.
I can only imagine that maybe just Tim's felt that the fight was going to be inevitable either way, and he just wanted to give up his own life in an effort to get the space for the cause of his team to back out. But,
I don't know. That's a risky
It costs a lot.
one.
He's dead for a long time.
Could be the game-winning kind of move here for Shopify.
So what's able to try? He's going to get caught out with a Hex immediately. That's what's KP. KP's got to be cautious. No ult available for a full minute. He's going to get caught by the Dream Core. KP's in trouble. Jump forward with the silence from Abed. They're focusing the Broodmaster down. They've got him. KP's out for 2 minutes.
How long in his buy? Oh, he does. Wait, he actually spent the.
He spent up for the AC, right? Or does he have something else on the pro that he will support? But yeah, he does not have the money. The money, it's not there. This push from Shopify Rebellion, it's absolutely going to continue. Tim's will be back up in 10 seconds.
Arteezy swinging toward top already.
Yeah, the damage is being done. Bottom racks taken away. Shopify Rebellion now 2 sets of barracks.
Continue here. 80 seconds.
I mean, it's a huge window.
Tremendous amount of their team fight.
Can they slow them down? 4 versus 5. Raven's still insanely farmed. He's going for the big plays here. He's queued up the rapier.
Feels like it might be at that territory.
Abed's in. The catch on the Karl. Karl, he's caught by the Hex. Karl, he's in trouble. He's gone.
No buy.
Karl's out. No buyback for him. He hasn't got the money. As the push from Shopify continues, Tim's, if you ever get the BKB off in time, he'll live. But it's down to a 3 versus 5 defense.
That's the Megas.
They're struggling to scramble towards the fountain. The Mega creeps are out. Jump forward from Abed as he continues to bully them back to the fountain. As the damage is done and Shopify Rebellion, they should be able to close this one up.
What a game from them. Arteezy is
There it is,
Arteezy has 100% kill involvement. Just wanted to point that one out.
damn.
21 of the 21 kills Arteezy has been a part of. Abed 17 out of 21. I mean, it was a neck and neck kind of game until those last few moments.